Dave Hogshead here with Practical Show and Rue, coming at you from Jiaxing, China, while I'm in quarantine. Today I'm going to be looking at a solo training drill using the target mitts for the high block. In this case, I'm going to be thinking about using the high block as a technique to use in response to a lapel grab. Again, high block is very similar in a lot of traditional karate systems. Major differences like the hand position, the arm position, are you this way, how far away from your head, right? Those variations. But in terms of application, no matter what system you're using or you're training in, the application here would be the same. In Matsubashi, the high block is at an angle here, about a fist distance or so away from the head, and we usually do our Kihon in a walking stance. Hand comes straight across and up. So that's kind of our high block, right? So what I'm thinking here is, how can we apply this? I'm thinking about it not so much as an actual block, but as, again, a forearm strike. And in this case, I'm thinking about in response to a lapel grab. It can be from a clinch scenario where the person is working around, is grabbing that your lapel, your coat, shirt, whatever it happens to be, and pulling you into punches. Or it could be there's a confrontation, the person is jawing at you, you're talking, you're trying to de-escalate, and the person just grabs and tries to sucker punch you, right? A variety of ways in which you could get into that situation. Of course, ideally, you don't want them to get their hands on you. You see them reaching for you. If you can react quick enough, slap it down, strike, run, whatever, right? But sometimes they happen to get a hold of you, especially if they've already so you started the fight, and you're swinging, you're punching, you're trying to get away, and they happen to grab you to pull you back in to start punching you. All right, so I think of this, I visualize this drill from the point in which they've gotten a hold of me. So without the target mitts, I'm thinking about how, okay, they've got a hold of me, they're going to be swinging pretty quickly, right? So I'm going to grab that hand. Now that his other hand, he's swinging, right? So I'm going to get that hand up to check or block whatever strikes are coming in, trying to push that arm back as best I can. Then I'm going to strike the crook of his elbow. That's going to get him to lean forward. Then my high block will be strikes into his side of his neck or his throat, whatever target presents itself. I just follow his arm right up to where his throat is, right? So I check that, push that arm down, hit the crook of his elbow, strike into his throat. Now he's probably going to cover to keep me from continuing to hit him, right? In which case that's no longer a viable target. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to reach back down, pull the crook of his elbow. That's going to get him to twist a bit. I'm going to pull that arm across, twist up his body. Then I'm going to be doing some hook punches or reverse punches into his ribs or kidney area, whatever is, however far he's twisted. I'm going to hit him in the kidney or the ribs. Then I'm going to reach up, grab his face. I'm going to then knee strike into his back, and then hammer fist, and hopefully he drops in a heap right there, back away. So again, without the pads, he's grabbed. I'm going to grab his hand so I know where his hand is and he can't use it. I'm going to check any strikes, try to push his arm back. Then I'm going to step in, hit the crook of his elbow, strike his throat. Then he's probably going to cover, pull his arm across to twist his body, start hitting him in the ribs or the kidneys, grab his head, knee strike to his back, a hammer fist to his face or throat, and back away. And this is really fun on the target mitts. You do have to do extra visualization and kind of change things up just a little bit to kind of make this work. So I use my own arm here is going to simulate the enemy's arm that's grabbing my lapel. Right? This pad area is going to be his neck or throat region. Okay? So he's grabbed. Now normally this hand would be grabbing his hand, right? I just have to visualize that, okay, and think about that as I'm doing the drill. So I've grabbed his hand. I'm checking any techniques that are coming in, trying to push that arm down. Then I'm going to strike the crook of his elbow, strike his throat or his side of his neck. He's probably going to cover, in which case I'm going to then twist his arm to get him twisted up. Now for the hook punches or reverse punch, I'm going to be thinking about some kind of slapping. So there's your strikes into the ribs. Then I'm going to grab the head, knee strike, hammer fist, and away. This is really fun. All right, so I got an angle, you can kind of see it maybe a little better. So I check what's happening, and away. And from the other side, you'll see a little bit differently. And away. So again, really dynamic, a lot of fun working this particular technique, thinking about using the high block as a defense against a lapel grab in which they're going to be reining in punches.